What's going on, everyone, and welcome back. We're going to check out uh, skeletal posing today. It's a pretty fun thing to do. Really good for making screenshots, getting people. If you have somebody sitting down, say you got an animation that is sitting a player down or a person down, you can pose him in the scene and move him to exactly where, like, say if he's sitting on a bench, make it where he's sitting directly on the bench. Otherwise, it's kind of difficult to get it to look right. All right, so we're going to start off by creating a new editor script. We're going to name this Poser. God, I hate how it does that. So we're going to do like how we do with every editor script, get rid of the useless jargon. Going to say using Unity editor. I'm not going to be using mono behavior. We are using editor window. Alright, so let's go ahead and get the variables down. First, we need the animation component that we will be accessing on the skeletal system. So we need animation component, and then second we need the name of the clip that we're going to be using. We're going to initialize it. And next we need the pose time, where in the animation we are going to be posing it from. So we are going to say float pose time. Oh, that's why. Need that in there. Alright, now we'll just go ahead and set a variable for the window. You don't really have to, but it's just habit for me. Now we need to create a menu item, call it poser. And in the init function, we will do the normal creation of the editor window. Of poser. And window.show. Alright, this is just something that you always do with editor windows, as you saw in the last tutorial. Alright, now we're going to be going into the actual posing of it. So we're going to say void pose. We need to create a temp variable that's going to be holding the current animation that is the current animation clip that is currently set on the animation component. That way, after we do the posing, we can just set it back to what it was. That way we don't have to just constantly change it, and yeah, kind of a mess that way. Alright, so we need the animation component dot clip equals animation component dot get clip. So this is taking the string that we defined up here and finding the animation inside of the component. And then, maybe I should have chosen a smaller name. Now we are going to set the time to equal the pose time. And then we are going to play the clip. Play. And then we are going to sample the clip. And then just immediately stop it after we play it and we sample it. And then we are going to set it back to the temp that we defined up above. That way it just resets. And that's the entire pose section. It's really simple. Just take one clip, or find the clip that is already in and set it there. Set the new clip in. Set the time to the pose time. Then we're going to play it, sample it, stop it, and then set the temporary one that we set up here back into the animation component. Now all we have to do is actually have something to look at. Some kind of window GUI to actually use to manipulate all this stuff. So we're gonna stupid thing. Alright. So we're gonna do the normal GUI layout. Dot begin horizontal. I know all this stuff can get very tedious, especially when you're dealing with legacy GUI. No, I don't want the sample just yet. I want the animation component. Nope. Animation component equals editor GUI layout dot object field animation component type of poser and set it to, wait, poser, what? No, type of animation, that's better, and we can use it in the scene. Pop that out as an animation. And in the horizontal. And this is exactly the same as how we did it the previous tutorial. So, nothing new. Alright, and this is going to be the animation that we want to play. Do not want that to be an object field. We want it to be a label field, whatever, text field, text area. There we go. So we're going to say clip equals editor GUI layout dot clip. Yeah, just clip. Alright, the next one. Now we're going to need the pose time. So we're going to say pose time. Once again, we do not need an object field. We need a pose time equals editor Dooley layout dot slider, and put in pose time 0 and 1. This will give us a slider instead of having to enter the values. It's going to be between 0 and 1. 0 is the beginning of the clip. 1 is the end of the clip. Alright, and I believe that is it for the coding part. I go in here. I've already got a guy in the scene. He already has an animation component attached. Now, since we're using a string to get an animation that is inside of this array right here, it's going to have the animation in there. So we will go to poser, and we're going to set the component. So just drag it on over right here for the animation that we want to pose. Say jump. And I'm going to pose it, let's say about halfway. Yeah, right at half. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot to add in a button to pose it. So, if GUI layout dot button pose, and then I want to check to make sure that the animation component is not null. Animation component does not equal null. Need to make sure that the clip even exists. So we're gonna steal that from up there. We'll say and that does not equal null. Then we're going to pose it. There we go. Now that should work. Go back into your poser, drop in the animation component, type your animation, put it somewhere, and pose. And there we go. We have our posing working just fine. And this works on anything you want to pose, whether it's for screenshots or I actually have something right here I will show you. Yeah, I'll save it, whatever. All these characters are posed just like this. using this exact same editor. And it's great for just about anything. So that's it for this tutorial, and